How's everyone doing today? It's CJ Halleck with CJHalleck.com. If you're following along, we're in the middle of walking through the different elements inside of the Elementor WordPress page builder plugin. We've covered a bunch of the basics so far. In the very first section, you see inside of Elementor. We're down to the last two. So in this video, we're going to be covering Google Maps, and then of course you can follow up in the next video as we cover the icon along with all of the settings. So we're going to get started with Google Maps. We're going to go ahead and take the element and drag it over in here to start the section. And the one thing when you drag it in, especially with maps, the one thing you might want to keep in mind is, of course, I do the stretch section, but it has extra padding already created and built into the map. So if you don't like the spacing, you'll want to come into advanced and basically add negative. I think it's -10. There we go. -10 across the board, and then that should, and that's not set to full width, which is a problem. Alright, so because it's actual content, you see where you have extra spacing here after you set it to full width. That's where you would, one of the only times in the sections that I actually use full width content. So you just come in here and add that full width, and then when you come down, it'll stretch the map out full width if you wanted to do that. And then basically moving forward with the element, you can do physical addresses. So if you wanted to do, if you have like a brick and mortar store or something like that, you can punch in your address here. If you don't, and you're like me and you work from home, you may not necessarily want to put your home address, public like that. But, I live in Jonesboro, not that big of a town. So a lot of the things that I do, I market towards Johnson City, which is basically the next city over, one of the largest cities in the area. And so I'll come in and I'll do like Johnson City, and then it'll automatically get you a map of Johnson City. And of course you can adjust the zoom, if you want to zoom in close and kind of show stuff, or of course the height if you want to do a minimum height or whatever for the map itself. You can prevent scroll, which I recommend doing. It keeps people from, one, it's a frustrating thing when it scrolls if someone's mouse is on that and they're trying to scroll up and down the page. They'll end up zooming in and out of the map, and they may end up getting frustrated. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like having the scroll on there. So I normally keep that at prevent, but I'm going to go ahead and delete this out. We'll set this down to, I think, 10. Yeah, 10 works. And like I said, you can do cities, you can do regions, you can do, if you were, let me think here. Okay, so let's do, where was I? Was Pancake House this morning. So let's do Old Town Pancake House. Right, so it's pulled up, it shows the address, it has the town, and if you live near Jonesboro or within driving range, I would recommend checking this place out. It's a really nice little, what I'll call a hole-in-the-wall little coffee breakfast spot. I think they close at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Have some great omelets, great food all the way across the board. I've heard their pancakes are amazing, but I never went there before I was diagnosed as a diabetic, so I can't tell you if they are or not because I've not had them. But they're called the Pancake House, so I'm sure they're great. So make sure you check that out. But anyways, other than that, you move into the style. You can change a few different things with the hover. You can change like and really not much. It was something, and I don't even remember what that did. Like I said, with some of this stuff, I use very basic. The only thing I adjust in the maps personally, I'll do the advanced and the margins to if I'm going to take it full screen or full width. And then of course putting in the address, adjusting the zoom if you need to, depending on where it is. With this, if you're in Greenville or Bulls Gap or one of these places, you're not going to want to know how to get here, right? Most of the time you'll have an idea where Jonesboro is, so you can get to the area. You might just not need to get to the streets, so you might want to zoom this in a little bit, and then when you get zoomed in, you can get closer to where you can actually see the map. So like this would be a good one if you're a restaurant or whatever. You're nice and close. It shows the streets so you can get an idea. You see what's, it's, okay, well, I know where that Dunkin' Donuts is, and it looks like it's directly across the street. So it's easier to see. So you just might want to look through that stuff. But other than that, that is the Maps walkthrough, Maps element for the Elementor WordPress page builder plugin. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment below. If you like the video, be sure to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell when you do so you can get notifications when I upload new content. That being said, hope everybody has an amazing day. Be great, stay boosted, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Take care.